Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L. The road is still closed. I'm in Cedar Falls. Haven't been down this way in a little bit. This is the museum to the right. Somebody's walking in the road. They haven't got that all filled in yet?
Sir, it's gone through.
What?
It's gone through. It's basically fixed. They got them signs up for some reason. But you can go on through right now. I just walked through. Ain't nobody there. You good?
Okay, because I was just wondering, I've come out a couple of times to see the progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you got to go through, just... Right
No,
now,
but I'm going to get out and walk up and...
I mean, I just walked through.
All right,
right up the road.
I got my camera. I'm going to walk up there a little bit.
All right.
Thank you very much. The gent there was walking his dog gave me some friendly advice. Okay, I see what he's talking about. Now I'm going to park the car here. And we're going to go take a look for a minute. I think I got my camera here. Oh crap, I don't. Oh crap, I don't. Alright, doesn't do any good. Alright. I thought I had my camera. No. No. Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L. I'm on my way to Cedar Falls. We're going to go visit a road project that we have visited before. Now it says road closed ahead, next left, so that set of signs I guess is still here. Yeah, there's some over to the left. Hang on. I flicked my high beams on that person to say go ahead. Okay, so I'm going left. Road closed to through traffic detour. We're not going on a detour. Road closed ahead. And there's the usual suspects there on the left. And this is the museum, North Carolina Textile Museum project that actually originates out of Franklinville. I know the guy who's overseeing it. Looks like a guy has a play boat down there on the left that we just went by. Okay, now earlier I came up this way, but I didn't have my camera with me. But I met somebody who was walking his dog, and he said he had walked down through and it's actually finished, but for some reason they still have the road closed signs. So I said, okay, I'll come back later and with my camera. Now remember, this is a no-touch visit. And I'm going to go right over here to the right. Now, as we look forward, we can see that there's no digger equipment. Okay. Let me get my camera started. Get my seatbelt off, take my key out. Hang on. Gotta get my walking cane. Hang on. Gotta get my walking cane. It's a good thing my head is screwed on, otherwise I'd forget that all the time too. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, we're ready to go. I'm just a limpy old man. We're looking at the vegetation. We're looking at what is down here. The deep river is down that way. I can hear it. We remember the road markings. Now the barriers are up at the other end. More road markings. And there's the fence. Ah! It really is close to completion. Alright, this is so that when it rains and there's a torrent of water that runs down, because it so won't run over the embankment and erode it. So that suggests to me that they're still going to have to put a barrier here somehow to prevent any possibility of erosion here. That's a guess. Now, this is fed by a dam over there, which goes back like 150 years. First it was a grist mill, and then a small textile mill, and then a bigger one. And the water from the deep river from behind the dam was fed this way, all the way down behind the original mill building to run the paddle wheel, and I've been told the paddle wheel is still there. I've never seen it. And I remember when last year, whatever it was, they were putting in the fiber. If you look carefully, the fiber goes down underground there, up to there, and then up again. There's something there that might be a manhole later. This is not the final paving. I think they're going to still put another layer on here. Now this, we didn't come up this far before because it was still an open trench, and here comes somebody. The guy said just drive through. Yeah, the guy waved at me. Okay, I'm going to do it. Here's the other end. There's the old wall. Can you see the wall there under the vegetation and the rocks at the bottom? First there was a rough pile of rocks, and then later they put cinder blocks, much later. And up that way, now the gate's not open, up that way is to the dam. Deep river's down there. Sorry, I can't run back to the car. Well, there's a nice pail. I like that yellow. Let's see what brand is on it. I'm guessing that it has a purpose for the way it's set there. It's covering something they don't want somebody to trip over or break. Tractor hydraulic fluid. That's what was in there. Last look. So this started before the Civil War. Jonathan Worth was one of the people involved, but not the only one. Jonathan Worth eventually became, after Governor Vance was the governor during the Civil War, but then he had to leave town, meaning Raleigh, as the Union Army was approaching, and Worth, who was vice president or had been elected president, went down and negotiated and got them to spare Raleigh on the condition that the Confederate Army would leave and go to Greensboro, which eventually led to a negotiation between Sherman and, I'm forgetting his name, charge of the Army at Greensboro, and they would meet at Durham Station in Durham, North Carolina, and then there was a surrender. Okay, folks, I'm getting back in the car. Excuse me for being so slow. Pardon me for being so slow. Okay, we got that. We got that. Close the door. Fish the key out. Yeah, I still got the key. I'm an old man, so every time I get in and out of the car or in and out of the house, I try to make sure to check my pockets that I actually have everything with me that I should. So I'm going to not turn around. I just saw, obviously, a local person come through, and like the guy who was walking his dog earlier, he said people just drive through. Okay, now, I'm doing this for a reason. Can you see the building there? Well, eventually, in order to control the flow through the pipe and all that kind of stuff for the mill, and also to, I think, generate some electricity, there were electrical generators in there, and they may still very well be, for all I know. Like the dam up in Worthville, and the dam in Franklinville, and the dam in Ramseur, they generate electricity. Not steadily all the time. It depends on the river height and the river flow. But they do, and so they make money. And they're contributing to green, so to speak. So do you think if I go up this way, I'm lost? I don't know if I've ever been up Jennings Road. Now, oh, that's interesting. Now I'm going to be careful. There's enough road that people will see what I'm doing. Warning, bull in field. And there's a barn up there. Oh, that's where he's going. Something like that. Isn't it beautiful here? Auction. Home, 75.21 acres with timber, September 6, 1 p.m., personal property. Leonard York Drive. It's a dirt road, but it's named. Not unusual around here, folks. Now you see the little gazebo over there? And as I pulled in, did you see the thing for the fiber? So you can look up Leonard York Drive. Isn't that a beautiful house? And you see the old farm machinery out there that would be horse or oxen drawn. So if you're interested in bidding on the property, I'm not promoting anything, I'm not recommending anything. I'm just saying, for example, real estate auctions. The house is beautiful. What nice land. Mills, do you see the millstones there? That's from the grist mills. Home with 75.21 acres plus or minus, or does that say 75.21 acres? I doubt it's 75.21. With timber, which means that you could make money from that by selective cutting periodically. September 6th, 1 p.m., personal property. You can come and look at it at 9:30 a.m. on a day, and they name who the auction house is and all that stuff. You have old families out here, and it may very well be that the oldsters have died off, the kids have moved somewhere else, they need to dispose of the property. I'm just giving an example. Because the kids don't want to come back and take it. Well, I don't want to inherit it, as an example. They've gone off and made their fortune doing AI in Silicon Valley. Who knows? And the gate was open to the right, so that guy really did go in there. This was an auto repair shop. We see a lot of them around, you know, like I go to Scott's Garage, something like that to the right. If you go to the right on James Ray Road, you can actually get down to the deep river, and if you get permission from the landowner, you could launch a kayak from there. See the bamboo? Isn't the bamboo forest beautiful? Do you think you're in the jungle? North Carolina has bamboo. That stand's been there for longer than when I've been up here. Deep rivers to the right, the dams to the right, the power generating things to the right. We're going to go carefully around. There's the telephone thing to the left. And I contend that they need to put one more layer of tar on here, asphalt, and it'll be finished. And now we're looking down at Cedar Falls itself, and the mills, and the activity here dates to the 1840s. This is typical of the Piedmont. It is beautiful. Now, I'm going to pull in here for a moment. The guy that was getting here at this truck had what I call a playboat, which is a very small kayak. The scrap truck, the iron scrap truck, is always parked here. People come down to see what's going on. When I was here earlier but didn't have my camera, there was only one person fishing, but now in all likelihood there's at least two. There's all kinds of activity going on in the area, and this is a convenient place to park heavy equipment. If you've seen the other videos, you know that's fairly typical. That equipment might very well be a part of the project up the hill there. And I'll remind you once more, looking straight ahead at that textile sign, no. If you look a little bit left at an angle, you see a truck parked there. Look a little further left, and at the back of the building, my understanding is that the back of the building was the original mill. I thought this one over on the right was, but I was mistaken. That was the cotton storage building for the textile mill. And it kind of follows the kind of architecture we see over in Ramsur, down by the river at the end of the railroad where there was the railroad round table. So that building part at the back, you see there's been an addition forward. At the back was the original mill building, and behind down there, I'm told, is where the old wooden paddle wheel is. I love it. Folks, it's beautiful. And there's the old post office that somebody tried to burn down about 8 years ago, and did partially, but it's been restored. And I'm going to head home, kind of the way I came down here. 6 o'clock, people are on their way home. Steve, AB4EL. This is the new bridge. There was a covered bridge to the right, and the pilings for the pier are right there if you go down and dig under the weeds. Steve, AB4EL, just having a lot of fun here in Cedar Falls, saying see you in 73.